Presently, we have a idea of putting up about 4 lakh square feet, but this could go up to 10 lakh square feet.
We hold this panel discussion in the presence of our dignitaries here. I introduce them one by one. We'll be talking more about this topic in discussion. The policy push and Karnataka's vision for a 500 GCC by 2029 is the reason we are having this discussion. How GCC has set to generate diverse job opportunities across tech, analytics, and finance and more. The role of GCC and partnership between GCC and local startups, universities, and innovation hubs to drive long-term growth with relevance. Our esteemed Honorable Mr. Sharath Kumar Bache Gowda will be overlooking this whole discussion and will definitely give his insights and share his views at the end. And it has some questions for you too, sir. First up on our panelist is Mr. Anand Fernandez. He is the CEO of EG India. Please can we acknowledge Mr. Anand Fernandez's presence here? EG believes in creating software that works for you, no software that makes you work. Since 1978, they have grown and brought enduring innovation and results year after year to the market and the industries they serve. They craft the vertical software of tomorrow, bringing sustainable impact to customers, to the society. My first question to you is, as CEO of EG India and R&D unit of EG, how have you leveraged the city's engineering talent and ecosystem to build world-class team and product development?
Thank you, Divishri. Thank you, sir. Great to be here, guys. Thank you very much. When we looked at Mangalore, I moved to Mangaluru a few years back and always had this since I'm a Mangalurian. So the affinity was always there. And we were working for a product company. And the mindset in a product company is quite different to a services company. And what we need is focused people and long-term product stability. When we moved to Mangalore, we found that Mangalore had this great, solid pool of good engineering talent and the ecosystem. It's a city, as everyone would agree on, less commute, stress-free, good work-life balance. All this actually translates into good focus and product stability. I think it was, of course, challenging when we came here to have this setup in mind, but we started small intel, but good focus. And for us, the biggest challenge initially was attracting senior talent. But of course, we couldn't get here, but we started attracting people from other cities in that sense. And simultaneously, we worked with the local engineering colleges to build that pool. And our plan was mainly to have this perfect mix of people, seniors from outside and the local pool, which we can integrate. And one more thing which we believe is you have to groom them well. The faster you start with them, you can groom them to what you actually need. So with this in mind, I think we have come a little longer in that sense. And at the moment, we have a lot of good homegrown talent here, which is actually supporting good global delivery. And being in EG, we need diverse skill set. If you ask in Mangalore for skill sets such as RPG, AS400, I think hardly anybody would look to this. And we had a connect with a consultant from Chennai, a recruiting firm. And some of our directors from the Nordics came and asked them, okay, we are looking for this skill set in Mangalore. For it, actually, they laughed at his face and said, this you will never find in Mangalore. So that was what was actually gave us, like, you need to fight this. Mangalore, definitely we can build it with the right mindset and support of the local community. We can build it. And this is what we did. We gave kind of options. We were very open with the seniors, giving them flexible work-life balance and other things. But now we see Mangalore as the city is working for them. We did the initial selling for them. But 1 year down the line, they like Mangalore for what it offers to them, to make a good family life with good healthcare facility and other things. So we have started. The Mangalore ecosystem is very much important for him to take it forward.
Thank you, Anand, for building Mangalore in your own way. My next panelist is Mr. Ashit Hegde. He is the Managing Director of Arkiva. Can we acknowledge his presence, please? For more than 30 years, Arkiva has helped global enterprises drive business transformations through improved supply chain processes. The company lives in a dynamic market where speed, accuracy, and efficiency are critical for corporate development and scale. They believe that leveraging the power of supply chain technology drives businesses and transformation. My question for you is, Arkiva is known for its supply chain planning and analytics suite. As MD, how do you position Arkiva's competitive strengths in predictive planning against global peers? And what role has our Mangalore Delivery Center or your Bangalore Delivery Center played in scaling these capabilities?
Yeah, thank you. Thank you, Divya. So I think first part of your question, no, we if you look at the supply chain planning landscape, one of the key parameters is the Gartner Magic Quadrant, which came out this year's came out about 3 days back. So Arkiva has been in that quadrant from last 10 years, and if you look at the top 8 players, we are one among them globally, and we are the smallest company in that pit, right? So we are a small company, but still we compete. We beat them in their game as well, and we are very relevant from last 32 years. So that is the kind of advanced product development and our customer service actually speaks of, right? So the critical part is when like I concur what Anand said, being a product company who is very much into technological innovations. We have new technology coming every 5 to 6 years from a platform standpoint. One of the key metric is that we need to have people with us for long term, and that's from one of the key things that we look at. So it's run more like a family, and we want people to stick. And that kind of seal, or that kind of advantage we only get from our opinion in a tier 2 city. And that's one of the primary goals for us to set up in Mangalore about 12 years back. Apart from the fact that I'm from this area, right? So that added bonus. But yeah, I mean, right from here, it's not just about, one of the other things that we also try to do is, being in Mangalore, we also want to scale in the APAC market. And so it's a win-win situation for us, because with the talent here and the long-term availability of people in the group, we are able to serve our global customers, which is mostly the Western customers, and then the emerging market, which is the APAC region. So that way we are able to blend together and scale up and also service our clients very well. And one other thing is, from I mean, most people say that, the IT comes to India because it's a cheap, right? Which is not anymore. What we look at is not just the cost, it's also quality that's very important. And because of this, being here in India, it gives us that capability to scale and also service our global customers on both sides, as East and West. And that's what helps us begin Mac.
From small steps to long-term goals, that's what Ashit spoke to us right now. Thank you, Ashit. We move to our third panelist, that's Rupalakshmi Pedamande. She is the Development Manager of NCR Etios. Can we acknowledge her presence, please? So NCR Ethleos is a financial technology company that focuses on expanding self-service banking and providing solutions for financial institutions and retailers. NCR Ethleos expands self-service for easy access. Their innovative solutions enable financial institutions and retailers to ship more transactions to self-service and leverage their own independent ATM networks, the largest in the world. My first question to you will be, your organization, that's NCR Ethleos, leads the ATM as the service market. What e-service or technology differentiates your offering, and how have you cultivated that advantage from your manual operations?
Thank you, Divya. A very good evening, everyone. So, NCR at years, this is being evolved in Mangalore about 5 years ago. We started as KEONICS. KEONICS is another largest ATM provider, which was later acquired by NCR. NCR is global. It is operating in about 140 countries, and it has got more than 80 million ATMs. We are into ATM business, and if you even go to the ATM in Mangalore, couple of ATMs, you will see the brand named NCR. We in Mangalore, we are the smallest part of the giant NCR family, which is about 20,000 plus employees in the globe. We work on the back office and settlement, and that's post ATM transaction. So when it comes to ATM product, NCR provides ATM self-service machine, which offers the cash dispensing capabilities, the cash recycling capabilities, cash depositing capabilities, and even more than that, which is replacement of bank branches. So this is the latest model which is being released by the NCR, which is replacing the bank branches. So most of the bank branches which could be converted digitalized. This one is offered as a service by NCR and is coming under ATM as a service. So typically NCR is offering services which is in OPEX model, which is operational model, than the CAPEX, which is you needn't worry about the capital investment of these ATMs and also the operational aspects of the ATM. You can just invest monthly subscription on these ATMs, and NCR takes care of everything end to end, right from finding the space, installing the ATMs, deploying the software, connecting with the network, cash, providing the cash supply, and finding the statistics of the transactions and coming back on the return on investment. So this is main focus of NCR, which is providing end-to-end capabilities wherever you are, providing cash capabilities or cash access capabilities to an individual, bank, corporates, retails, and everyone. So having this goal, we, a small team in Mangalore, we are mainly focused on the back office and settlement, which is actually settling the transactions that have happened in the ATMs to the customers, and as well as distributing the revenue part to all of the network and vendors, etc. We in Mangalore are mainly, we started with about 10 members of employees, which were group of expertise in this back office and settlement, having strong domain knowledge, and we expanded 10x of these employees in our team, and we are also situated globally, and our main goal is not just providing the products and services, also part of customer satisfaction and improving the market. So employees here are operating on the core values like accountability, collaboration, and innovation, which means every team is accountable of some of the services that we are providing. So what happens is when there is a new customer looking out for services, it's like we are working as a one team in NCR. Each team is responsible for smallest part of the deliverables, which gives an opportunity for the team to focus on the smallest services and to give the best of the performance, best of the service, best in class service to the customer, which has given us a best outcome from the customer feedback. And that's how we have grown. So apart from accountability, we have collaboration. Collaboration mainly, we don't have to talk about collaboration in Tamil Nadu. We have employees here who are connected to each other, not just on the professional aspect. Also, we have the culture. We have other social platforms where employees here are connected to each other. And this helped Mangalore to grow and improve and have best in class culture, which also expanded the hospitality to customers and other cross functional business teams. And this has created a great name in Mangalore, and we are recognized as one of the best team operating out of the small city. So apart from that, innovation is, whenever we talk about innovation, it's about young minds. So in Mangalore, we have a lot of talent pool, and it comes from, uh, right from the engineering college. They come here, as well as we have experts team with whose guidance we have strong innovation skills among these young minds. And every year we have something called as hackathon, which is a 48-hour activity where it's an opportunity for employees to come up with some innovative ideas. It could be a disruptive, innovative idea, or it could be like within the business and technology where uh, we can provide some innovative solutions to the existing problem. So what we see in Mangalore is 100% participation and a lot of appreciation um, given on our ideas as well as the solutions that we have provided. So this is one of the best things what we see from the Mangalore team.
Thank you, Ripalakshmi, for making innovation happen in smart cities. Our fourth panelist is Manikandat Subramanian. He is the VP and GM of Every India Private Limited. Their mission is to transform the casino industry through innovative gaming, financial technology, and loyalty solutions. From game content and cabinets, they create trailblazing player experience to financial technology solutions that bring security, utility, and efficiency to the gaming floor. Every was built to be a transformative force. The company delivers superior game content and hardware with an install base of more than 14,000 games, inclusive of both original content and licensed brand themes. My question to you is, Every's casino gaming business seems fascinating in terms of the domain. Can you share more insights of this industry and about it?
Good evening, all. It's really pleasure to be here, part of the leaders who have been shaping the Mangalore tech industry. Yeah, the casino gaming is fascinating. It's more accountable, but it's more serious. It's more into regulatory, highly regulated industry, very highly regulated industry. Uh, Every is into payments for gaming, where it smoothens the cash flow into the gaming flow. That's what majority of the support that our team in Mangalore are working on the products, and every is into solutions supporting the casino operators to give the players process. They run a jackpot, $1 million jackpot, right? The faster you process to them, the happier that the guy who won would be. So we process. We have solutions to process the jackpots, process our credit. We have a credit bureau solution to make sure that the casinos are giving credits and markers to the right patrons. We have a table managed to ped expert solutions, and we have a marketing, a player engaging solutions. Uh, Again, the casinos are too big, so just want to make sure like there are targeted promotions. The players are rewarded, so we have a loyalty and a marketing platform. That's what largely we do. In I mean, with from every, and yeah, our games are also hosted online, so that combines both the on-prem and the online play experience.
But this would definitely mean not only your presence, Bill, but also your organizations, because I see a lot of nods coming in when you spoke about your industry. Thank you so much. My question to Sharath Kumar Bache Gowda here is, what are your insights into the state level incentives, infrastructure investments, and prerogative government frameworks designed to attract GCC to tier 2 cities like Mangalore?
First of all, let me just start off by congratulating Guru Dutt and his entire Vertex team, which have not only inaugurated their fifth center in Mangalore, but have also put together Techwaves. I think this is the inaugural Techwaves summit in Mangalore. I wish him all the best for putting this together and hope that there are many more such events so that the entire ecosystem which is present over here gets an opportunity to sit together, mingle, see what vibrancy people bring in, and the kind of development which is happening over here. It could be servicing international markets, logistics, finance, gaming. There's a huge area of work which is being done in Mangalore, I think, which we very rightly and very proudly call the Silicon Beach of Karnataka. So congratulations to Guru Dutt, his team, everybody who put together the effort behind this. Having said that, I think if your question is what are the incentives which the government can do to promote industry, I think in itself, incentives don't do much to promote an industry. If you ask me, why do companies come to Bangalore? Companies don't come to Bangalore because Bangalore gives any greater incentive than Hyderabad, Chennai, or Mangalore, or Mumbai. People come to Bangalore primarily for the talent which is present over there. If tomorrow any GCC wants to land up in India, right? Where are you going to find 400 AI programming engineers? The only place which you're going to find it throughout India is Bangalore. So it's not for the weather, it's not for the love, it's not for the pubs. It is where the talent is. And it is not for the incentives that people come over there, it is for the talent which people come over there. Having said that, they land in Bangalore, they set up in Bangalore, but after about 6 or 9 months of operation in Bangalore, they realize that they have a 30% attrition. At which point they've got to start looking outside as to where they can go, where they can move, which is where we see cities like Mangalore, the emerging cities. I wouldn't call them tier 2, tier 3. I'd call them the emerging cities of Bangalore, Mysore, Hubli, Belagavi, Dharwad, Kalburgi, these kind of centers where we can then move people who are looking, once you land in Bangalore, where do you grow, where do you expand, where do you find talent? Mangalore has 110 engineering colleges over a coastal belt of maybe 80 kilometers. So you've got talent over here. So we want to make sure that the talent present over here gets the opportunities. If you ask me about attracting GCCs, the state of Karnataka has plenty of policies to attract GCCs. If you look at GCCs coming and setting up their infrastructure, their companies in a tier 2 city, government is willing to fund up to 75% of the infrastructure cost or up to a cost of about 3 crores. What I've just heard over here predominantly has been about how everybody over here is focused on loyalty, focused on long-term, creating a product, not just being a service area. So for people creating IP, people filing patents, the government is behind you and we are willing to fund whatever cost of patents which are required. If you talk about certifications which companies need to do over here, the government is with you to fund certifications for whatever products which you make. In terms of, like you were saying, recruitment, right? Someone came and said, it's a joke that you're going to find talent over here. So the government is committed to be behind you and funding up to 50% of the recruitment cost. So whatever headhunting cost is there, in the emerging cities, the government will be with you and we will support your headhunting cost up to about 3 crores if I'm not mistaken. There is also rental support which the government gives. There is also support which the government will give you for your internet services. The government will also support you with power taxes and tariffs, bringing down commercial tariffs to industrial tariffs for IT companies creating intellectual property over here. So government is 100% with the industry. We want to take industry beyond Bangalore. And if you ask me, personally, I think I've got a bunch of Mangaloreans sitting over here with me. The past 2 or 3 months, I've been traveling to Mangalore so frequently, I'm thinking of getting my voter ID shifted from Bangalore to Mangalore. So I've been over here a lot, predominantly because of the work which we are doing with KEONICS. So we've got about a 3.5 acre space, which is on Blueberry Hills, somewhere between here and the airport. And we're looking to put up a really big IT center over there, where we can have similar to what Bangalore had with its IT park in Bangalore. So we want to make sure that in Bangalore, we can set up a center which has something like 4 to 5 lakh square feet, grade A building, conforming to all your platinum standards for a building code, so that we can attract that. We want to create the critical mass. Once you create the critical mass, there are enough and more smart people in Bangalore that they'll take the critical mass and make more out of it. We just want to cross the inflection point. So we cross the inflection point, the trajectory can be picked up by the local market.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much for making things happen for Mangalore. I'm taking a leaf from your book. My next question for Anand over here is, EG being a product company, how is Mangalore an ecosystem here contributing to enable product engineering and delivery?
I think Mangalore, as I mentioned earlier, I think the talent pool is very good. What we are seeing is there's a lot of collaboration happening. It is the local tech communities getting much more active, conducting this communities meetups, lot of AI hackathons and other things which we are conducting. We have some active collaboration with some of the universities here where we sponsor their hackathons. And if you see, like, we have hired some of our talent out of these hackathons and these programs. And we are seeing that they are the top performers in that way. So all in all, I think they need the channel. The talent is not specified to a certain region or something like that. I think talent is available everywhere. I tell my people example of Dhoni, and whatever little we can do towards it, we are more than willing to support them. I think we need to give them direction. We need to be together. Sir, actually I should come in, like he has been coming here to Mangalore and we met last time. This kind of focus is definitely needed for Mangalore and ecosystem. In my specific cases, I have a lot of travelers coming from the Nordic region. In fact, in the first 3 months, more than 200 people have traveled from there. And for them, their biggest pain point is they come to a airport and then they have to change the airport, Dubai or Abu Dhabi. If there is something can be done about the airport, you'll have people directly from US and getting the immigration or whatever done in locally. That would be a huge help for people. Just take this and much more companies will come. And recently our CEO had come here and he sees what the potential and the speed with what we have grown. We were just about 20 to 30 people a few years back. And now in the last 2-3 years, we have grown to almost 800. And you cannot get it from outside. You should actually have the local people to come into that. And seeing the scale, he was pleasantly surprised and he mentioned this could be a game changer for him. Tomorrow, a lot of companies are getting into acquisitions and things like that. Their R&D cost is more than 50-60%, which is very, very huge. And if you get this scalability for them, they can acquire these companies which has got this huge R&D cost and leverage the scale of India and really help them grow. So these are some of the plans which we are thinking of in the future. And I'm sure places like more than Bangalore with this kind of places can grow. Mangalore, Mysore and other things. I think it will do very good for all of us. And I also agree with Ashish's point about India is not cheap anymore. I think we have to deliver and we have to find the, now I believe Indonesia's coming point close to us. So we have to fight from Bangalore to Mangalore and other places where we can leverage even the cost. I think these kinds of decisions we need to push, we need to pick in advance and try to plan this.
Thank you for adding game changers here to the panels we have Anand. Thank you so much. My second question, a quick question to Ashat over here is, to describe and performance outcomes and explain how proximity to regions tech talent in Mangalore has enhanced the client success.
Actually, I'll give an example of a India company itself, right? I mean, we recently started a project with Tata. So basically, the problem is to optimize the tea blend. So I know everybody consumes tea. If you look at when you pick up a spoon of tea leaves, right? You'll see that there are multiple sizes of tea, which means all these leaves are from different gardens from all over the world. But every time that spoon of tea has to have the same taste, same feel, and there are different parameters. So the speed blending is a very, very complex problem in supply chain planning. And Tata didn't know about Arkiva. We are really smart, like I said. A lot of they tried this with big companies, the bigger names. With a lot of companies, could 5,000-10,000 people globally in the same space, right? Whereas we are about 130 people global. So when none of them could solve this problem. So when somebody I think somebody from our partner network suggested that look at Arkiva. There's a Boo Arkiva, and then they Googled and they found us. So when they called me, they were doubtful if they can really do that, because big companies can't do it. How can you do it, right? So the funny thing is Tata is Tata and we wanted the brand, of course. So they came to Mangalore to see if we really are here and if we have office here, right? And they responded with us. We did the project. Within 6 months, they actually delivered it and it became a huge success. So that was possible only because we are a talent and team here in Mangalore, right, India. And such a complex, of course, we had help from our Western colleagues, but the entire delivery was done from here. And right now, Tata is so happy that they want to do more and more projects and Merit 7, and now they want to do global tea plan and also all the other cool stuff, right? So I think that's the thing. It's not just as a GCC, it's not just about servicing the Western customers or developed countries customers. It's about also looking at these emerging markets where I feel, especially now, we are very focused on manufacturing companies to plan the supply chain, and for and the kind of growth that we're seeing in manufacturing in the emerging market, right, from Big East to the Australia region or Japan region. I think there's a lot of scope in the future, and I think having a team here with scalability and with the talent, I think that's a good launch pad to actually service this market as well.
Not only a Western market, the Indian markets are also opening for Mangalore. Thank you. My second question, Rukalakshmi, is, could you highlight a major banking client win or case study, the specific NCR ateliers, modules developed, and how Mangalore-based engineering drew efficiency and uptime for their customer, for that specific customer?
Our major clients being on the banking side. So we have a greatest win under the banking operations or the services. So as I just mentioned in my past question, our operating model, which is ATM as a service, this allows the organization, financial institutions or retailers or the corporate or individual entrepreneurs to look out for an investment on ATM as a service. And this investment is not in terms of money. It's like, monthly subscription, and they'll have to just buy the subscription from NCR, where they are going to obtain ownership of the ATM, and rest everything is taken care by the NCR. And with this, the corporates or the ATM owners, where we call as ATM owners, they do not have to worry about any underlying complexities of operating the ATM. This is NCR who will be taking care by the outsourced teams for end-to-end services. And this way, we have a couple of win where the banks which had very outdated ATMs and it was just doing smallest functionality of ATM as like, withdrawing the cash, giving the credit card or debit card. There are ATMs today which are performing much more. It is also performing the transactions that are done in a bank branch. So, or the services that are provided at a bank branch. So, these customers have uh, bought the ATM as a service subscription, which we upgraded these ATMs from very outdated version to the most newer versions. And what happened here is the banks which had n number of ATMs installed, they grew by 10 n, that is 10x of these ATMs, 10 times more than these ATMs. In terms of transactions, why n number of ATMs were doing, say, number of hundreds of transactions, this went to thousands, and multiplying these ATMs 10x, it went up to million transactions. So this grew in terms of revenue for both parties, NCR as well as their customers. So we are growing and our customers are growing. So as in Mangalore, as I've told, our teams are operating on our core values. One of it is accountability. So we have more than 100 teams operating under the NCR group. So whenever there is a customer who is willing to take our service, so smallest of smallest, these services fragments are divided among these teams, and these teams are accountable to perform the part of those services, and this gives us the opportunity to focus on the smallest part and do our best to our services, whatever we are giving. And this comes out a best model, I guess, operating model. So Mangalore, as I've told, the back office and settlement, which is the expertise from the Mangalore team, we are doing best in most of the other parts of the globe in the service side.
Thank you, Rupalakshmi, for bringing the best out of Mangalore in your sectors. Keeping the Mangalore way of going, I ask Manikandan, how Mangaluru supported the growth of every India, how the evolution of GCC model has influenced every's operational strategy, particularly in leveraging local talent and technology for this business.
Reiterate the thoughts that Anand and Ashit shared earlier. Like, we have moved out of that cost mindset, right? Rather than competing like which city offers cost, we are now looking at how do we improve our technology strength, right? So we have shifted from the cost mindset. We are more moving towards innovation. To as being a GCC gives us the flexibility to be part of the global organization. There are many kinds of leaders come here 10,000 miles to understand from our team how the business functions, right? They were so happy to know that, like, okay, they got a lot of insights after visiting India about how the business functions. Our team today are part of product design, building the customer experience, building the security. That innovation mindset is a big drift. And if India does that, what's special with Mangalore, right? Or something which I definitely find special with Mangalore is the global mindset, still holding on to the cultural roots, right? So what Sir mentioned, building it the team here, the teams are embracing the best of the global practices, but still holding on to the roots that defines the city, right? So that this unique skill sets brings up an uniquely capable skill set with a global minded workforce. So that's the beauty of it.
Thank you so much. It looks like the whole leadership team here from the industry is just chanting the same words, that Mangalore is not a wrong decision, is the best decision they have made to grow here as GCCs. Over here, we have Shri Sharath Kumar Bache Gowda, who not only is the member of Legislative Assembly, is also the chairperson of KEONICS here. So we would not miss out on this question to you, sir. We know that KEONICS has done for Bangalore in 2000s with tech park like Electronic City. We know that you are a visionary of the same stature. I know you've already mentioned blueberries here, but adding to it, what are your thoughts behind putting up a 4 lakh square feet IT park in KEONICS property in Mangalore? And we want you to set examples here, be the catalyst for the growth of Mangalore IT ecosystem here. Can you make a second electronic city here, the city like Mangalore, for the development of our city people under your leadership? Will you be the face of Mangalore Tech?
Thank you so much for your question. I think, as you said, KEONICS can trace its history back for 50 years. KEONICS was set up in 1976, and 1976 was when Electronic City in Bangalore started. So it's been a 50-year journey, and if you look at some of the biggest companies which have come out in India, it could be Biocon, it could be Infosys. All of these companies had a very humble beginning in Electronic City. So if we can do the same for Mangalore, I think I'll be the proudest and happiest person. I wish that with the Global Technology Center, which we're going to be setting up in Mangalore, we can lay the foundations so that Mangalore produces these kind of GCCs and global capability centers. I think one of the key things which I've heard across the discussion, be it what Anand, Ashit, Dhruv Lakshmi, Manikandan have said, the main point is that there are products which are coming out of Mangalore. There is IP which is being created in Mangalore. And one of the things which I crucially heard was every company which is built over here has tried to reduce the attrition to as low a number as possible, primarily because Mangalore is not doing the mundane work. Mangalore is not doing repetitive work. Mangalore is doing very challenging work. And though, like what Ashit said with Arkiva, right? Tata had to come to them for solutions, whereas Tata itself have their own consulting division where TCE is like one of the biggest people. So innovation happens, research happens, knowledge is created. I don't believe in very big companies. I think they become too big for their own good. There isn't enough flexibility. They're not dynamic enough. They're not quick enough. All of this happens in MSMEs, right? If we just look at something like artificial intelligence, the biggest companies in the world missed the artificial intelligence bus. If you look at Microsoft, look at Google, look at Apple, they're all still playing catch up in artificial intelligence. Whereas what ChatGPT is doing, what some guy with DeepSeek is doing in China is so far ahead of the curve. So I think MSMEs, SMEs is where IP is created. It is where innovation happens. It is where you have space to play. And I think Anand said it very well that we are looking to be the places where bigger companies come and buy us, acquire us, make them a part of our portfolio, right? So we want to make sure that this kind of ecosystem we can create. And in Blueberry Hills, we've found what we think is a fantastic place, which can be an iconic location. It's beautifully located somewhere between where Mangalore is growing towards and where Mangalore is. Huge tracts of residential areas. Presently, we have an idea of putting up about 4 lakh square feet, but this could go up to 10 lakh square feet based on the zoning regulations which are due to be changed in Mangalore. I think we've got a 2.6 FAR or something like that, which is due to be increased. So we are hopeful that a conservative number is 4 lakh square feet, whereas we wanted to go up to as much as 10 lakh square feet. And one thing which we've been very consciously doing is we want to make sure that the tender and the way we structure the whole program is more favorable for local players. We're not gaming it. We're not doing it to suit someone in particular, but we want to make sure that we've got local buy-in. We want to ensure that we have the local real estate, we have local CREDI, local NASCOM, everyone a part of the process. Because I can see one thing in Mangalore is really passionate. Who are Mangalore's best salesmen? Mangaloreans are Mangalore's best salesmen, right? So we want to make sure we have as many Mangaloreans, locals participating in this. And I think if we have about 4 lakh square feet where we want, I wouldn't maybe call them SMEs and MSMEs. I would call them micro and nano GCCs, right? Because they are supporting a global clientele. They are supporting a global they are a part of a global solution. So we want to promote these micro and nano GCCs. We don't want one company coming up and setting up a 10,000 seater. That is nothing. We would rather have 30, 40 vibrant micro and nano GCCs working out of Mangalore. So just to take it a step further, we've got all the support from the Mangalore municipality about how we're going to develop the infrastructure over there. And we've been doing a lot of work with the tendering. I'm very optimistic that by the end of this month or start of next month, we'll have the tender process out. And hopefully sometime in June, we'll be able to break ground. And we've set ourselves about a 2.5 year time period. I've broken ground. I want to inaugurate. So there is a selfish motive behind that. So we've set up about a 2.5 year time frame within which we want to complete the center and hand it over to Mangalore as well. So this is what we are doing. So if what we did in Electronic City can be replicated in Mangalore, that will be a win for everybody.
Totally, sir. You have set the future map here on how infrastructure, education, digital transformation will continue shaping this journey in Mangalore. Thank you for laying the stones for this. Thank you so much for even summing up this whole discussion in such a beautiful manner. And with this, we conclude this first panel discussion on GCC.